Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody who is in the room. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you all can please give me a thumbs up or radiation emoji if you guys can hear me. If you all cannot hear me, then give me a thumbs down or an angry face. All right. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who's in the room early. We got Vovo to Love in the building. We got Katsy in the house. We got Miss Nisi in the building. And we got MC. All right. So it is good to see each and every one of you all. All right. So we are going to talk about your girl, Nimrata Randhawa. All right. Now, how many people know who Nimrata Randhawa is? She is one of the losers of the Iowa caucus. All right. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9 and shout out to Ryan Glenn. Good to see you too. All right. And the reason why we're going to talk about her is because I think something that needs to be examined is the AAPI and their dishonest reiteration of Black American history. Now, I want to ask you all a question. It seems like there is a pattern of AAPI individuals who purposely attempt to get in front of crowds, get in front of microphones, get in front of as many people as they possibly can. And instead of using their alleged high IQs for good, they use their high IQs to attempt to manipulate and misconstrue Black American history. What's wrong with these people? Do you all remember the affirmative action issues that we had going on earlier in the year when the AAPI community, quote unquote, thought that they, quote unquote, got one on us by whining and crying and spazzing out about affirmative action when we didn't put the affirmative action laws into place? You guys remember that? Because that was the thing. What was the popular narrative that those people said about affirmative action? Shout out to Greets. What's good with it, bro? What did those people say about affirmative action? The AAPI community, at least the ones that have mics and podcasts and those kind of different things, they said that affirmative action was an oppressive action by Black people, an act of AAPI hate to stop them from getting access to college admissions. First and foremost, affirmative action is not an oppressive action by Black people. Affirmative action is a update to current laws based on civil rights legislation that was created. It was created with a alleged purpose of allowing Black people access to opportunity post civil rights, post slavery. Affirmative action had nothing to do with Asian people except for the fact that many of them, not on their own merit, benefited from it. What I need everybody to do in the comment section is I need everybody to list all of the incorrect regurgitation and manipulation of Black history that members of the AAPI community have espoused. Vivek Ramaswamy said that the civil rights movement was about securing Second Amendment rights, as if we had rights, any other rights. There was literally 3 amendments that were called the Civil Rights Amendments that were installed into the Constitution as a result of the civil rights movement. And you got Vivek Ramaswamy sitting there saying that, oh, it was about gun rights. These are the dangers of non-invested, undocumented bros. Would you guys agree? Undocumented bros pose some existential threats and should be discussed as such. One of the existential threats that these undocumented bros have and undocumented sisters have is that they attempt to regurgitate, reiterate, and install ahistorical facts into American history in order to benefit their own operation. Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, all of these people. This is one of the reasons why it's so important to make sure that everybody has a good handle on their history. People teach their kids history and do not allow people to espouse ahistorical facts without a hard correction. Shout out to JW. We're going to talk about your girl Nikki Haley and some issues that she had, seeing how she's one of the biggest losers. You know what I'm saying? May as well keep her in the spotlight. Haley says America has never been racist. Another member of the AAPI community who said that is Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's just get two facts established here. Is it a fact that Kamala Harris is a member of the AAPI community? If that is a factual statement, please give me a thumbs up. If that is a non-factual statement, give me a thumbs down. Kamala Harris is a member of the AAPI community. Kamala Harris also came out, got in front of as many PC people as she could, and said, America's not a racist country. So we have yet another one. When I had asked you guys to let us know the history of these AAPI people who had made these kind of inflammatory and defamatory statements, I was hoping that somebody would have said, Kamala Harris, but it's all good. We got her. You know what I'm saying? We got her. So now Haley comes out and says the same thing. Now, let's ask this question. Do you all think that the AAPI community's denial of racism and racist institutions in the United States is one of the reasons why they're deemed a quote-unquote model minority by PC people? If you guys think that that's the case, then give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that it's not the case, give me a thumbs down. Now, we know there's more reasons than just that, but that's absolutely relevant, and that's absolutely one of the reasons, and it's absolutely a contributing factor. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate each and every one of you all. We got 29 likes, or we got 29 viewers, and we got 28 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 40, that'd be great. So I want people to understand this. Nikki Haley has said that America has never been racist. Her own family history says otherwise. How many people remember what we were talking about as far as the quote-unquote behavior code for conservatives? Does this particular statement fall in line with the behavior code for conservatives? If it does, let me know. If it does not, also let me know. Okay. So now here it says Nikki Haley can't seem to tackle questions on race. Now let's establish this. Why would Nikki Haley seem to have trouble with questions on race? Why would she have an issue with this? These are very simple questions. These are questions that you can easily look at historical facts. You can easily look up past history. You can easily grab documentation, old printed media, history books, encyclopedias, and you can get some of the answers to some of these questions that people might have. One of them being one of the root causes of the Civil War was slavery. Another issue that Nikki Haley failed on. right? So my question is, why can't Nikki Haley tackle questions on race? I want you guys to understand something. Nobody asked Nikki Haley to give them a dime of reparations. You know, white people, many white people, WS, you know what I'm saying? People like Fox News and shit like that, always say that black people are asking for handouts. Black people want handouts. Has any black person asked Nikki Haley for a handout? If they have, let me know what handout that they've asked Nikki Haley for. No one's asked Nikki Haley for anything except for to basically have some respect, have the same amount of respect for our history that you have for everyone else in the country's history. But she's not even able to do that. She's not capable of doing that. Why? What's in it for her? That's what we got to find out. That's what we got to figure out. Nikki Haley can't seem to tackle questions on race. Now, I disagree. I believe that Nikki Haley is more than capable of tackling questions on race. I believe that Nikki Haley does not tackle questions on race because it doesn't suit her end goals. It doesn't benefit her to do so. Nikki Haley does what benefits Nikki Haley. And if Nikki Haley is getting donor money from a bunch of old, dried up Adosos and Confederates, she's going to appease those old, dried up Adosos and Confederates. One of the dangers of the financial system. You know what I'm saying? Nikki Haley also benefits from downplaying questions on race because when you talk about race in the United States, in comparison to every other group of people, when you talk about our history in the United States, it really makes everybody else look bad, either for a lack of action, inability to accomplish things, or fighting and overcoming obstacles that other groups of people are too weak to overcome. Other people's minds are too weak to perform in the ways that we perform. We don't create oppressive systems to harm people because we're not capable of being competitive. We don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? People like Nikki Haley have to come in and latch on to WS in order to be competitive because she's not able to be competitive on her own. She has to ingratiate herself to the extent that you've changed your name and religion and shed your culture shamefully. You know what I'm saying? The former South Carolina governor and current presidential candidate paid a visit to Fox and Friends on Tuesday after a third place finish in the Iowa caucuses. Now, what I want people to understand is that the right wing media loves Nikki Haley just as much as the left wing media. And there's a reason why the right wing media loves Nikki Haley just as much as the left wing media. The reason why is because Nikki Haley is a neocon. She's part of the Uniparty. She's part of the military industrial complex. If you're a part of the military industrial complex, you get the benefits of being propped up, liked, and protected by both political parties. You guys recall Nikki Haley was one of the first reasons why CNN started side-eyeing Don Lemon to accelerate his firing. You know, he said some true stuff about Nikki Haley. He said that she was post-wall. Yeah, fact. Shout out to Catsy. She sat on the board of Boeing. You know what I'm saying? In an interview, host Brian Kilmeade pulled up a video of Joy Reid's CNN commentary from the night before that focused on race. Elephant in the room. She's still a brown lady that's got to try to win in a party that's deeply anti-immigrant, Reid said. Now, despite the fact that Reid is, you know, a weirdo, right? What Reid said is true. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with it, Brooklyn Queen? What Reid said is true. And what's interesting about it is that nobody addresses it. You know what I'm saying? Kilmeade asked Haley whether she agrees with this interpretation, to which she implied with her track record being the first woman of color elected governorship in the country. Technically, she's the second by a matter of days, and becoming a U.S. ambassador to the United Nations after growing up in rural South Carolina. Then Kilmeade asked Haley outright, "Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?" No, Haley said. Then she goes on to say, "We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country." Which means that Nikki Haley believes that if that's the case, if Nikki Haley is saying that we've never been a racist country, what she's saying is that she agrees with everything that has been done in the past to black people. And she would sign off on all of it. If voted into a presidential office, Nikki Haley would go to war on black people. That is essentially what she's saying. Now, it's interesting that she feels that we've never been a racist country. She's second generation. Her father was a professor at a historically black college. So his father was one of those people who leached like they all do. This is clearly an ahistorical fact. Now, we got 40 people in the room, right? And I want to ask all 40 people, which means that we should see, 40 thumbs up or 40 thumbs down or a mix of somewhere in between. Is this a true statement? We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. If that's a true statement, give me a thumbs up. If that's a false statement, then give me a thumbs down. If you give me a thumbs down, I need you all to list every instance of racism in the United States, starting prior to the formation of the United States. You got the Race Massacre series that Torian Rain has on his channel. You got Black Codes. Shout out to Torian Rain. He's got a compilation of sundown towns on his channel. More stuff than that. Shout out to AB Promotions, ladies and gentlemen. He is the first stream sponsor. Please make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat and some flames for AB. AB says the name Nimrata tells exactly what people she belongs to. She will never be one of them, no matter how much she try to pass. Yeah. Now, we're going to actually address that because USA Today came out for her rescue, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021. They came and simped. They came and simped for her. So we're going to see exactly what happened with that. You know what I'm saying? Nikki Haley contradicts her own family history. It's a shocking statement considering the candidate's December blunder where she failed to mention slavery. So what this basically means is that Nikki Haley believes that black history is pseudo history, and she's going to poke her chest out and ride with the WS's to attempt to stamp out and commit historical genocide against black people. Which is not surprising, right? And I'm not saying that to scare anybody because the only thing intimidating about Nikki Haley is her man hands. And if you got good duck and weave game, you can handle that. But this is just more par for the court. It's just a pattern. It's just shows the truth about what a lot of these people do. Shout out to Emperor Erection. Shout out to Jay Cage. What's good with it? Okay. It's a shocking statement considering the candidate's December blunder where she failed to mention slavery as one of the causes of the Civil War during a town hall in New Hampshire. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is this motivation enough for people to get into place? Political, industrial, business tools in order to be able to retaliate against people when they make these kind of attacks, because the AAPI community has been doing this in cooperation with the WSs for quite some time. And the reason why they do it is because at this moment in history, they expect there to be no retaliation other than just what you see right here, stuff like this, us talking about it online. They haven't felt the pain, the sting of retaliation, operant conditioning. If you allow somebody to bully you or harm you, you know what I'm saying, without repercussion, they're being positively conditioned that they can do that. The way to get somebody to stop doing that is to decondition them from doing that, which means to provide a negative stimuli for any time actions like this take place. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So when people decide to start issuing negative stimuli for these kinds of actions and do it over a long period of time to where behavior changes can be noted, then we'll start to see behavior changes. You know what I'm saying? She attempted to later walk the comments back and say that she was focusing on quote unquote what it means to us today, but the damage was done. So, what is her idea of what it means to us today? And when she says what it means to us today, she's talking about what it means to people like her and what it means to white people. Because there's a clear, evident pattern of all of these people and their cowardice and how they attempt to avoid any type of conversations with us. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with anybody. You don't have to agree with me. But these people are terrified. So they don't have those conversations. And then they go around and say that we don't want to have conversations. Okay. Haley even appears to contradict herself in her interview with Kilmeade. After saying the United States isn't a racist country, she then says that she dealt with racism growing up in South Carolina. So how's that work? So what that also means is that Nikki Haley was actually, she was dead serious when she said that the Civil War wasn't about slavery, or wasn't about it wasn't about slavery. What she just did was she just solidified and verified that she actually does not believe in racism. She actually does not believe that the Civil War was the cause, or that slavery was the cause of Civil War. She does not believe that racism is a significant issue in the United States, regardless of what the evidence says. That's what she has just proven, if you ask me. Okay. She has shared some of her experiences before, like the story of someone calling the police on her father, a ski man who wore a turban as part of his faith while they were shopping at a produce stand. A country that has quote unquote never been racist would not produce situations like that at any point in time. And it's the sort of thing that continues to happen in the 21st century. Her statement is demonstrably false. Our country was built on land that belonged to indigenous people, using the labor of enslaved people to grow its economy. It is a country that imprisoned Japanese Americans in internment camps during World War II solely based on their ethnic background. And what else it says, what else it should say that it doesn't say here, and the reason why it doesn't say this here is because it's limited. When I say that these media outlets are limited is synonymous with this is WS media. You know what I'm saying? And because WS are limited in their abilities, you know what I'm saying? Their media is also going to be limited in its ability to be able to tell the truth, right? One thing that it does not say here is that all these other groups that it talks about, all these other people got reparations. And black people, you know, the ones who did the labor of enslaved people and then had to deal with Jim Crow afterwards, didn't get reparations. Japanese people, the model minority, Nikki Haley's fellow, you know, I guess, brothers and sisters, they got reparations. Indigenous people continue to get continued reparations. Which what that means is that all groups of people are in agreement, and all groups of people are unified in the systematic economic genocide of black people. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a fight with somebody and people start to jump you, what that means is that those people that are jumping you are all in agreement with that person that's fighting you, that you should get beat down. So everyone else in the world is jumping us, which means that everyone else in the world believes that we should get beat down. So it's not just white people. This is what I've been trying to reiterate. A lot of these old school, you know what I'm saying, people with these old school, unupdated ideas and ideologies put the focus on white people. While you got tunnel vision focusing on white people, you're missing out on all the other parties like the AAPI community, the Latino community, the Arabs. It's not just white people anymore. Other people have applied for the job and gotten hired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, facts, JW. JW says WS is a group sport and it likes to bring in buffers to do the dirty work. Yeah, you got the line, like the WS is the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the linebackers and the safety. You know what I'm saying? You got the linebackers who be the Latinos, and you know what I'm saying? You got the safeties and all that. That'll be the Arab people, and you know what I mean, immigrants and all that. WS is one of the world's biggest diversity hires. So, you know, there's that's also a myth that WS doesn't like, quote unquote, non-white people. WS loves non-white people because WS needs non-white people in order for it to exist. Without non-white people, the world just becomes a Mad Max like chaotic environment. The Dark Ages all over again. As long as there's non-white people to distract people from their primal urges, you have what you see right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lloyd Scott 9. What's good with it, bro? So now here it says we have continued to grapple with racism from the civil rights movement to the 2020s Black Lives Matter protests. In short, there is a mountain of evidence contradicting Haley's statement that we've never been a racist country. So now what this means is that Nikki Haley will be more than willing to lie about anything. Oh, I missed the super chat. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to DSB, the second stream sponsor. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Please make sure you guys show DSB some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat. Throw some flames in the chat for DSB. Being a second stream sponsor, definitely appreciate it. And also, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 49 people watching and we got 43 likes. If everybody can smash that like button and get us to 60, that would be great.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can.
Just so everybody is aware, what Nikki Haley is doing right now is racism. Because if you downplay anything that happened to the Jays, that's anti-Semitism, right? So you downplaying the American experience of black people, which means that you're practicing anti-blackism. Now, we gonna hold on.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No. We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can.
Now, imagine saying that to one of your grandparents or one of your great grandparents, or even one of your parents if you have parents that grew up in Jim Crow. Shout out to Cameron. What's good with it, bro? Imagine that.
I know. I faced racism when I was growing up.
Did you? You faced racism? From who? Because the people that they claim are doing the racism today are not the same as the people that were doing it back then. So now here's my question for everybody. Who did Nikki Haley face racism from, and what kind of racism was it? Because you know there's types of racism. So who did it? Who done it?
But I can tell you today is a lot better than it was then. Our goal is to lift.
Can you? You can tell today's a lot better than it was back then? Under what measurement stick? Under what measurement goal? That's my question.
Up everybody, not go and divide people on race or gender or.
Now, when she's saying all these Republicans, all these people that are sitting here talking about dividing people based on race and all of this, what were any of those people doing during the Jim Crow era to stop the government from dividing people literally by race? What were they doing? What were they doing to stop segregation? What were they doing to stop black codes? What were they doing to stop any of that? They're so outraged about, quote unquote, people being divided by race. What is your history on blocking people from dividing by race? What did they do? And shout out to Tasha Peters. Tasha Peters says, I thought she said it was never a racist country. Right. How many people saw the Twitter post that Just Pearly Things made where she said red pill, Martin Luther King was a race hustler? How many people saw that? If you guys saw that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't see that, give me a thumbs down.
Or party or anything else. We've had enough of that in America. That's why I'm.
Who started it? Who did it? How did you have enough of it? You never even experienced it. She had enough of it. She had enough of hearing about it. She had enough of it causing difficulty with her campaign and any other type of things that she wants to do. She had those kind of issues with it. What kind of actual issue does Nikki Haley have with any of this, ladies and gentlemen? What kind of issue she got with it? The very people that practice these kind of things are the very people that she wants to have voting for her.
So passionate about doing this. I don't want my kids growing up where they're sitting there thinking that they're disadvantaged because of a color or a gender.
So then why don't you stop people from attempting to harm people, block people out, lock people out, and attempt economic genocide on them based on their color if you feel so badly about it? See, I want you guys to pay very close attention, because when these people say they don't want to have their children feel anything, they're exactly right. They don't want to feel anything. They don't want to have to deal with anything. As far as, do they want to stop practicing these practices that lock them in and maintain them in a certain societal status? No, they don't want to stop practicing that. That's what that means. Okay.
I want them to know that if they work hard, they can do and be anything they want to be in America.
Now, if you work hard, let me ask everybody in the building that's working hard. If we work hard, how long is it going to take us to even the racial wealth gap out? And the goal of the racial wealth gap should not be to even it out. The goal of it should be to create a racial wealth gap where we're the ones on top with the most money and everybody else is trying to catch up to us, not just to catch up to white people. No disparity that we have should ever be looked at as a comparative to white people. It should always be looked at a goal to get to even and then to continue to go to surpass. Every disparity that we have should always be a launching point. It shouldn't be well, we have to get here and then it's okay. It's not about equality. It's about surpassing. If you ask me. I'm saying. So now here it says, yet this is the belief system that has been standard in Republican strongholds for years. So again, this right here goes to the question that we were asking. Shout out to Carla, right? This goes back to the question that we were asking about the Republican behavior standard. Is there a quote unquote unspoken Republican behavior standard? And the reason, again, why we got to ask this question is because you can see a lot of these people act the same way all the time. They constantly act in the same way. But they'll sit there and tell you that there's no behavior standard. That's not true. Okay, so what it is just like how they view racism. We see that there is a behavior standard there. We see that it is true, but we're supposed to forego our own natural senses and listen to what they said because they said so. I don't think so. I wouldn't advise anybody to do that. I'd advise you to trust and believe your own senses and what you observe on your own. That's what I would trust people to believe. You know what I'm saying? In the past few years, Republicans in multiple states have pushed to change the curriculum to remove quote unquote divisive topics from public schools. And the reason why is to try to stifle future generations from maintaining momentum at going for the justice that we need to get. That's what that's all about. If you guys agree that that's what that's about, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. The right believes that the United States is the greatest country in the world and refuses to hear any evidence to the contrary. Unless it's evidence where it's talking about how black people have degenerated the country, or if they're talking about Democrats. Aside from that, yeah, that's what they say. They say that stuff. Okay. Shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 61 people watching and we got 52 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 70, that'd be great. Haley needs Republican votes. Many Republican voters don't want to talk about race. That's a fact. And if they do want to talk about race, many people like that will only talk about race if they are comfortable and able to control the conversation. If they're involved in a conversation about these kind of topics with somebody who is grounded in historical knowledge, somebody who has knowledge of American history, and somebody that holds the people who committed the heinous acts accountable, they're not going to want to have a conversation. But if they can have a gaslit conversation with somebody like a Nikki Haley or somebody like a Vivek Ramaswamy, especially, I think that those kind of people really enjoy talking to minorities about race, the broken minorities. They like talking to them much more than they like even talking to other WSs. And the reason is because it somehow validates their feelings. They see a person that's not white, and then, whoo, this is how these people feel. We don't have to worry about anybody getting in our face about this. See, because we got this person over here that believes this, and they're willing to say it. Vivek Ramaswamy hanging all off of Donald Trump like a fangirl at the Iowa caucus after he got his butt spanked. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Vivek Ramaswamy was doing, now that I think about it. He was hanging off of Donald Trump after the Iowa caucus, like how kids sometimes hang off of their parents after their parents spank them. You ever seen a kid get spanked in the store and they crying, oh, mommy, and they holding you know what I'm saying? They holding the parent all mad at him, and the kid holding on to him for dear life. It's crazy how the kids hold on to the parents for dear life after they just got their ass beat, you know what I'm saying, by the parent. But that's what happens a lot of times. That's how Vivek Ramaswamy was holding on to Donald Trump after he had whooped that ass. You know what I'm saying? And grabbing all on him. Oh man, he was grabbing all of them like somebody had rolled up a newspaper and smacked him all upside his head with, get your ass over here, boy. Get in this damn car and shut up. With his shovel chin. You know what I'm saying? Shovel and chin. That's Vivek Ramaswamy's occupation. He's got the perfect shape for a face. He's got a perfect shit shoveling face, doesn't he? If you guys agree that Vivek Ramaswamy has a perfect shit shoveling face, give me a thumbs up. You can just put his head on the end of a stick and just go right down into the soil with that chin and scoop it up and get your land real nice for a garden and plant some tomatoes or some peppers or something like that. And you'll be good to go with the Vivek Ramaswamy, Vivek on a stick. You know what I'm saying? The shovel head ass fool. You know what I'm saying? Shit shovel head ass. Anyway, at the same time, it makes sense that Haley would say this, especially after Reid's comments. She doesn't want to alienate the Republican voting base, which has been overwhelmingly white and over 50 years old in the past 3 national elections. So now, overwhelmingly white and 50 years old. Not to put everybody into one category, you know what I'm saying? But what do you all think that those people's opinions and views on race are? What do you guys think? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Brooklyn Queen 125. Definitely appreciate it for the $10 super chat. Please make sure you guys show her some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat. Throw some flames in the chat. Definitely appreciate it. Republicans polled by YouGov in July were more likely to say that white people face racism in comparison with other races, which is interesting. Now, on a case-by-case comparison, every racist action in the United States that's occurred against black people, I need somebody to show me where that's happened to white people in the United States. Who's pulling white people out of their homes, tar and feathering them? Who's accusing white people of committing sexual acts of degeneracy against black women and burning down entire white communities based on accusations? Where are white people driving through black controlled cities and the police are pulling them out of the car, deleting them? Who are the house white people and the field white people? Who are these folks? Anybody know who's the field white people? Who's the house white people? So what this says is that we're dealing with a contingent of people that'll just literally say anything, not based in anything. And I'm telling you, there's been a time, you know what I'm saying? There was a time when, people, they would sometimes fall for these tactics. But see, nowadays, people are more educated. And as other groups of people are degenerating, what it seems like is that we're evolving. And now people avoid us like the plague. There used to be times when people would love to have a good time and do these microaggressions for their own entertainment. Not so much. Those days are over. I nowadays, you know what I'm saying? People kind of watch it a little bit. Not to the extent that I'd like to see, but they still do it though. There is a noticeable change. And the noticeable change is not society improving. The changes in society, the way that society treats Black people, is not a result of society moving forward and society changing. The reason why we get treated different nowadays is because we've evolved and we've changed, and we're starting to set boundaries and say we're not taking this shit anymore. And if you continue to come with this bullshit, we're going to let you know how it feels when the backlash comes. And as a result of hitting people hard and fast with the backlash and keeping the pressure on, we've inspired behavior change in the rest of the world, because we know that the rest of the world are degenerates and they're not capable of doing it on their own, which means that we got to make sure that they do it. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says they were less likely than other respondents to say that racism against Black Americans is a problem. Haley is already at a disadvantage for the reasons Reed brought up. Many people will see her as too liberal, despite her status as a Republican and the policies she supports, just based on her lived experience. So that's interesting. I want you guys to think about this. Many people will see Nikki Haley as too liberal. Nikki Haley is too liberal? Let me ask you guys this question. Who would see Nikki Haley as too liberal? That voter base that she's trying to appeal to. People like her own husband. You know what I'm saying? Despite her status as a Republican and the policies that she supports, or just based on her lived experience. She caught flack from fellow candidate Ron DeSantis for saying that Hillary Clinton's words motivated her to enter politics. She doesn't want to alienate the party's core voters, but the unfortunate reality is that some people will always see her as quote unquote too different to be a viable presidential candidate. Now, that's not true. If there was all Black candidates in Nikki Haley would magically turn into a traditional white woman. It would be just like magic. Do you believe in magic? And I think you do. If there was all candidates, we'd say Nikki Haley was white, and we know it's not true. Do you believe in magic? That's that WS magic. Voila, magic. Voila, magic. The GOP is not equipped to have meaningful discussions on race when this is its primary voting bloc, especially while the party is still under Donald Trump's thumb. The GOP is equipped to have discussions on race. The GOP is not willing. It's not willing to have discussions on race. Shout out to my man Alonzo. What's good with it? What's goody? Yeah, I gotta agree with Nell. Facts. If you guys agree with Nell, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with Nell, give me a thumbs down. Nell says, code word, you're still too dark, and we don't care. Good old boys base DGAF. Facts. That's big facts. They don't like to admit that. It doesn't matter if they like to admit it. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Many of these voters likely do not want to talk about their complicity in continuing racism, and it isn't a pleasant topic. They do not want to talk about the rise in hate crime since Trump's 2015 campaign. And then, of course, what they say, his anti-immigrant rhetoric that has led to treating migrants as less than human. Where are migrants getting treated as less than humans? Migrants are getting treated as more than humans. What migrants they talking about getting treated like less than humans? Where? Not in the United States, not in Chicago, not in Denver where they getting a monthly stipend, not in New York where they getting plane tickets and getting flowed out all over the place. What's they talking about? What migrants getting treated less than human? Where? Where's some damn migrants getting treated less than humans at? Migrants are allowed to go to the damn council meetings and not show an ID in Chicago. If you're a Chicago resident, you got to show the meetings. You got to show your ID. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says they do not want to talk about the anti-Asian hate speech that arose because of Trump labeling C-19 as the Chinese virus. Speaking of which, if you're not subscribed to the BLR C-19 channel, make sure you guys take a moment and go subscribe to the BLR C-19 channel, because we got some content on there that we probably going to be talking about tomorrow morning. So if one of the moderators could put the link for Black Light Revelations C-19 in the chat, make sure if you're not subscribed to that channel, when the moderators put the link in the chat, that you hit that link and subscribe to it real quick, because we got some stuff to talk about tomorrow. Okay. So now here it says all of this would require them to unpack their fear of people who don't look like them. And honestly, they don't fear people that don't look like them. They hate people that don't look like them. There's a difference between hate and fear. You know what I'm saying? If you fear people, you don't attempt to abuse them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. That's what's good, bro. Shout out to Ghost Walker. That's what's good with it. In the Fox interview, Haley said, I can tell you today that it was a lot better than it was then. So does the racial wealth gap say that? Do any of the indicators on paper say that it's better today than it was then? If you look at Fox, when Fox brings their coons like Jason Whitlock on there, Jason Whitlock and his hog-headed self will sit there and say that it's worse nowadays and try to make it as, you know, black people are failing to thrive. So now you got to ask the question then, well, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? What does the racial wealth gap say? If we look at the racial wealth gap as an indicator of whether race relations have improved or not, what would that tell anybody? So according to this, they say this may be true, and I empathize with her. I'm sure that growing up in South Carolina as an Indian American was difficult. It wasn't as difficult as it was for black people. You're a white passing person. There were even black people that were white passing. So being that you were not black and white passing, that was probably easier than being black and passing. So yeah, sorry. I don't, you know what I'm saying, really care. I just, you know what I'm saying, how they feel about this. But racism has not magically disappeared since then, and it is naive of her to make that assumption. It's also naive of her to not take into consideration that she's not from the same group as everybody else, and each group experienced a different type of racism. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to go over that, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to DSB, who has doubled down on the support. Definitely appreciate it. He's the fourth stream sponsor. Please make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat, throw some flames in the chat for DSB. Also, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please take a moment. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, take a moment and hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel. And please share the stream to your social media. All right. Also, make sure you're following me on my social media. And if you're not a part of the Discord, hit the Discord link in the chat to join. All right. DSB says no one has been treated less than human but the black community. These people are playing games. Yeah, that's big facts. Big facts. Our goal is to lift up everybody, not to go and divide people on race or gender or party or anything else, she continued. We've had enough of that in America. Who did it and who benefited from it? And as long as you uphold the benefits that those people received from doing it, then that means that you haven't had enough. You've had enough when you don't need those benefits to continue to live in the way that you live now. So ain't nobody trying to hear that. I understand her inclination to highlight progress and emphasize equality. I understand her reluctance to criticize the voters she is seeking to win over. But to say that the United States has never been a racist country only serves to bury its history and make it look naive once again ahead of the primaries. Well, it doesn't make anything look naive. If you believe in the idea of these people being naive, you're the one that's actually naive. You know what I'm saying? So now there's an article that Fox came with here. And that article is a conservative perspective on the article in the situation that we just read. And shout out to Carla for being a bot enforcer. So we're going to take a look at this. All right. Nikki Haley fires back at MSNBC's Joy Reid. We've had enough of dividing people on race. I didn't think that Joy Reid divided anybody on race. She just brought up a point, and instead of answering the question or addressing the question, somehow white people gaslight Nikki Haley into believing that not answering the question is somehow handling the situation. And that's not handling the situation at all. And now, as big as Nikki Haley's hands are, she shouldn't have any problems handling anything. She could handle a car. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Nikki Haley could wrap her entire hand around a car from the top, and her fingers would overlap her thumbs on the bottom. And she could pick it up, you know what I'm saying, and hold a car like a damn candy bar. So if you can do stuff like that, if you can handle things like that, and you could definitely handle them comments that Joy Reid made with them big ass man hands. She can manhandle some shit for real, for real. She got 2 manhandles at the end of her arms. So she could have manhandled them comments that Joy Reid made if she wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't. She chose to act, you know, well.
This morning, GOP candidates are turning to New Hampshire after President Trump's win in Iowa, including our next guest, who calls this now a 2-person race, wasted no time getting to the Granite State. So there now, live in Concord, New Hampshire, presidential hopeful Nikki Haley. Governor, great to see you. Last night, you came in 3rd overall. You got roughly 21.
Yeah, that's Ed. Shout out to Alonzo. That's what we finna start calling Nikki Haley. We finna start calling her She-Hawk. She got them hawk hands. Haley smash. You know what I'm saying?
1,000 plus votes, 19% of the vote. Ron DeSantis got 21% of the vote. Why do you think it's a 2-person race?
Shout out to Al. What's good with it, bro?
Well, I think, first of all, look at where we started. I mean, when we started, there were 14 people in the race. We had 2% in the polls, and we came out with a strong showing. That's what we wanted in Iowa. Now we're in New Hampshire. You can look at the polls in New Hampshire. We're a stone's throw.
Shout out to Cameron Jones. Cameron says that outfit sucks. She got that outfit from the same people that do Just Pearly Things outfits. Jay says she could easily grip a basketball. Bro, I told you they about to come out with the Air Haley shoes where she in the same pose on the shoe tongue as Michael Jordan, where she palming the basketball like that. Except for she palming the globe with the UN flag on it. She got them big alien skinny knot knuckled, you know, those knot knuckles like what E.T. got. She got them big knot knuckle hands. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy.
Away from Donald Trump. And so we're going to continue to work really hard. We've been here for 11 months. We've done over 75 town halls. We have been in Red Arrow Diner before. And so we're going to continue to talk to people, but we know that that gave us the strength coming out of Iowa. We're going to get even stronger in New Hampshire, going to South Carolina.
So you said New Hampshire's going to fix what Iowa did. How does New Hampshire fix it?
Well, Brian, that was a joke. I mean, you know that. I'm not.
And you're not funny. So, you know, I don't know if you realize that, but like when you're not funny and you tell jokes, people don't laugh. You should never have to tell people that was a joke, but you had to. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Bronze of God. What's good with it, bro?
I don't take politics as seriously as sometimes you guys do. We were having a joke there, but what I can tell you is
if you don't take politics seriously, you probably shouldn't be president. Just saying. Do you guys agree with that? If you don't take politics seriously, you probably shouldn't be president. You probably shouldn't be president. Matter of fact, you probably shouldn't be a politician. You know, that's like if you're a basketball player. I don't really take basketball serious. You know what I'm saying? I just play it because I play it. Shout out to Miss D and shout out to Wallow J. What's good with y'all? I mean, maybe that explains why you're so incompetent that you don't take politics seriously. Now it all starts to make sense. You know what I'm saying? It all starts to make sense now. Now we get it. These people sit up there and say that we're a little bit slow. You know what I'm saying? But I think we got it now. I think we up to speed now. Just unbelievable. With this salmon colored sweater on top of a sweater turtleneck. And she's shopping at the retirement home's finest stylers, isn't she? Sheesh.
Iowa was very good to us. But now New Hampshire is going to go and continue what's happening and set the tone as it goes to my sweet home state of South Carolina. This is the process. This is what I love. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But we couldn't be more excited about the energy we have on the ground here in New Hampshire and the send off that Iowa gave us. We're happy.
Right. You did come on late. They had you up in the last Des Moines Register poll in second, but you end up in third.
Shout out to Val. What's good with
right
it, Val?
now, Elise Stefanik.
Uh-oh. Hold on real quick. While y'all waiting, smash that like button, y'all. Also, if y'all haven't subscribed on the other channels, make sure y'all take a moment and do that. Hit the other social media and jump into the Discord. Let's get it.
Yesterday came out, fellow Republican says, calling out all the other candidates to drop out. What do you say to Elise Stefanik?
Well, I respect Elise Stefanik, but I will say that you've got 70% of Americans don't want to see a Trump-Biden rematch. The majority of Americans disapprove of both Trump and Biden. If you look at the fact that both Trump and Biden put us trillions of dollars in debt that our kids are never going to forgive them for. And you look at the fact that they are still focused on the past.
Yo, she's talking about the kids not forgiving anybody for putting them trillions of dollars in debt. How much debt did the United States put black people in? The reparations tab could be looked at as the amount of debt that black people are in, which contributes to the racial wealth gap, because that is unearned labor that we were never paid for. And as far as the time value of money calculations go, that money was never able to be invested in other investments or appreciated. So even if we listen to pro-black coons like Dr. Umar that says that we're too ill-minded to be able to put money into a vending machine because we're just that ill-minded that we're stupid, even if we put the money in the bank and just let it sit there, we would still earn some type of interest on it. Earning interest does not require a sound mind. It simply requires your money to be sitting in an investment that pays interest, which is basically time if you go back from when slavery was allowed to now. Now, everybody always likes to use this quote-unquote speaking on argument. I'm going to use it. That's what happens when you have a psychologist speaking on finance. You know what I'm saying?
Whether it's investigations, whether it's grievances, we need a new generational conservative leader. That's what Americans want. That's what they're yearning for. They don't want to continue to deal with
Shout out to the
all
Hula
negativity
Gang. What's
and
good with it,
baggage of
Hula
the
Gang?
past. They want to start seeing solutions so that we get things done on the economy, on education, on the border once and for all, on law and order, and on making sure that we prevent war. That's the biggest focus we have. That's what Granite Staters are talking about.
Now, we all know that Nikki Haley is a neocon, right? So my question is, what kind of war is Nikki Haley going to prevent? Nikki Haley was sitting and is probably still involved with companies that benefit from the creation and duration of war. Nikki Haley is the poster girl. She's the calendar girl. You know what I'm saying? She's all 12 months of the calendar girl for the military industrial complex. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, shout out to Honda 666. Yeah, she's a neocon. She is a uniparty member. If anybody in the comment section knows what a neocon is, a uniparty member, somebody do me a favor and explain it to Honda 666 for me.
That's what we're going to continue to talk
I know
about.
last night in your remarks, it seems to me, and you have some supporters there. It seems to me last night you were very tough on, much more direct about Trump and Biden, saying we had two 80-year-olds. It's time to turn the page. The American public doesn't want these two. Was that intentional to be tougher after Iowa?
I think, look, I've always spoken in hard truths. And so you had 14 candidates. And as we did, we were trying to get ourselves out there, make sure people knew what we were for, my record as governor, my record as ambassador. Now that we've come out of it, look, I mean, you look at any poll here in New Hampshire, Donald Trump and I are a stone's throw away. And so we have an opportunity to really make a difference here and continue to follow what the American people want. The truth is, we don't want any more 80-year-olds in D.C. We don't want to go and hear about any more investigations. We're done with that. Everybody wants to see new, fresh.
Hey, she said they don't want any more 80-year-olds in D.C. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. She gonna get in trouble for that comment. You don't get in as much trouble for the ageism comments as you used to. You know what I'm saying? But if the right old person hear that and they take it there on her, she could definitely hear it as a result of that. You know what I'm saying?
Leadership. They don't want all this division. They don't want the hatred. They just want sanity, and they want government to work for them again. They're tired of work.
Hey, you see the newscaster, the news anchor is so befuddled. This if you ever heard of the term befuddling, he's so befuddled by all this babbling that she's doing. He doesn't even know what to say. He's just making these noises. Yeah. She's reduced him to making just noises. You know what I'm saying? Look, watch.
In D.C. We don't want to go and hear about any more investigations. We're done with that. Everybody wants to see new, fresh leadership. They don't want all this division. They don't want the hatred. They just want sanity, and they want government to
see.
They don't want all this division. They don't want the hatred. They just want sanity, and they want government.
His brain is fried from listening to nonsense. Oh, man, he can't take it no more. Shout out to Maxwell Jenkins. It's done.
To work for them again. They're tired of working for government. And so that's what we're going to try and do. This isn't personal for me. It's never been personal for me. This is about making sure that my kids don't live like this. No parent feels good about how their kids are coming up. You look at how
he's visibly irritated. Would you guys agree that he's visibly irritated? If you guys agree that he's visibly irritated, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Homeboy is visibly irritated. He's big mad. Oh, man. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to y'all, man. We got 70 likes and we got 68 people watching. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to that 100, that'd be great. Smash that like button, hit that bell, share the stream, tag somebody that you know in it when you share it to social media. Let's get it.
The average home buyer in America is 49 years old. The American dream is getting away from us. You look at young Americans, they're worried about getting a job. They're worried about being able to afford a home. They see the debt that Trump and Biden.
Man, Nikki, see this. Hey, Nick, this is Nikki Haley, modern woman. Modern woman. We gotta go there. Modern woman. You see, he can't even get a word in. And Nikki Haley ain't about to stop. She's not stopping. That motor mouth is pushing through the water at 100 miles per hour, and it's not going to stop. It is not going to stop. If he thinks that he's going to stop that mouth from moving, he got something else coming. And then you're going to mess around and get called a misogynist or get told that you Me Too'd somebody if you, in this place, appropriately, tell her, would you shut the hell up? Have you all ever come in contact with somebody that they just need to hear, Shut the hell up. And like in the most mean, crispy way. If he had told her that, she'd have shut up too. Shut up. I didn't realize you wanted to say anything. Go ahead. Shut up. Could you imagine all that babbling at a meeting? Was she talking to Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin? And a lot of these other cultures, they don't put up with that. Nikki Haley start babbling like that. They might shoot a nuke over here or something like that. Oh, they said this is the ultimate disrespect. They got our male president sitting down here listening to this woman babbling, talking crazy. She's sitting on the other side of the room and her finger so damn long she almost poked somebody's eyeball out. Hell no. Launch them motherfucking missiles. Oh man, she be done poke somebody's eyes out with them long. Her fingers is like Carnage from the Spider-Man cartoon. Anybody seen Carnage's hands? She got them Carnage hands. She be causing all kind of carnage, pointing at people.
Put them in, and they're worried about how they're going to pay for it. We owe it to them to get this right.
Well, as you know, a lot of that debt came after the pandemic with former president. But Governor, I got to ask you, I know you weren't watching the coverage because you told me you had to get right to New Hampshire, but listen to what Joy Reid said of the reason why you lost last night or came in third. Listen.
The elephant in the room, she's still a brown lady that's got to try to win in a party that is deeply anti-immigrant. It's still a challenge. I don't see how she becomes the nominee of that party with Donald Trump still around. I can't picture it happening. Maybe it could happen. Ron DeSantis' only argument for staying in it is he's the white guy, that he can still make the appeal to white people.
Oh man. Hey, what y'all think about what Joy Reid just said? What y'all think about what Joy Reid just said? Yeah, she's Lady Deathstrike. Yeah, Cameron Jones said, you ain't white. Facts.
You ain't black.
Oh, yeah, she got them saber-tooth hands. Big facts. Wolverine gonna walk up on her. Hey, bub. Hey, bub, you think you're gonna be president?
Do you agree with her interpretation of the results?
First of all, I mean, Joy Reid lives in a different America than I do.
Yeah, she's black. She does. I don't know if you think that was a flex to answer like that, but in your stupidity, you were actually right.
I mean, yes, I'm a brown girl that grew up in a small rural town in South Carolina who became the first female minority governor in history.
You're not a minority. The Hula Gang says, how is she a brown lady? Could because of hygienic issues, not necessarily, you know. Could be because of hygienic issues.
Who became a UN ambassador and who is now running for president. If that's not the American dream, I don't know what is.
No, that's not the American dream. That's the American dream that foreigners who wish to live in a different reality than the reality that they come from have. That's not everybody's American dream. You know what I'm saying?
You can sit there and give me all the reasons why you think I can't do this. I will continue to defy everybody on why we can do this.
Well, you didn't defy anybody in Iowa. They defied you, a win. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Torian Rain. What's good with it, bro? They defied you, a win in Iowa.
And we will get it done.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No. We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to.
Now, what these people believe is that if they repeated talking points, that repeating the talking points and continuing to be consistent and repeating them, they believe that that's going to eventually wear people down. So what people need to make sure that they do is to never wear down and always understand that that's the point of that tactic. Okay? That's the reason why they do that. Now, what people need to know, the secret behind all of this, is that these people don't even believe their own BS. I don't know if anybody is aware of that. How many of you all are aware of that? The real secret is that these people don't even believe their own BS. They don't even believe their own BS. What it is just is a test of loyalty to see how far they can push somebody to say nonsense on their behalf. And a lot of people would jump out, they'd jump off the roof, they'd jump out the window for a lot of this stuff. Which what you see Nikki Haley doing right now. Don't none of these people believe any of this nonsense because they're well aware of everything that's going on. But this is a test of loyalty. This is to reinforce, I'll do anything for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
To make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can. I know I faced racism when I was growing up, but I can tell you today is a lot better than.
What kind of racism did she face? What I want to know is what kind of racism does your black son-in-law face in your family directly from you and your husband? That's what I'm curious about. Does he face racism? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if in her family, her son-in-law, the black son-in-law, constantly is bombarded with nonsense about race from them. You don't think we're racist, do you now? I mean, we can't be racist. We invited you to the family picnic. Now, it depends on what type of dude her son-in-law is. You know what I'm saying? If her son-in-law is, a regular, normal, self-respecting black person, you know what I'm saying? He ain't about to really be sitting there listening to all that nonsense. Like, you going somewhere with your crazy ass. I'm not going over to the family's house because y'all crazy. I can't stand dealing with the mother-in-law. She always asking some old batty ass questions. And I feel uncomfortable. Or it could be one of them type of Clarence Thomas type, you know what I'm saying, black people that can't wait to get over there, you know what I'm saying, and start doing the Sarah Garvey dance, talking crazy about black people. You know what I'm saying? Because Sarah Garvey got his own little dance. So, you know what I'm saying? That's that toot up dance. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've never met the dude. I don't know what kind of cat he is. I don't know what he about. You know what I'm saying? Honestly though, right? I think that homeboy might be actually he might be a real one. Because if he wasn't a real one, you know what I'm saying? I think that she would constantly reference him. I don't really be hearing her reference her black son-in-law very often. Have y'all heard her ever bring that up? Because a lot of people like to weaponize that. I can't be racist. I have a black son-in-law. What, you didn't marry the mother? You didn't marry him. What that got to do with you being racist? And even if you did marry him, you can still be racist. So what are you talking about? But I've never really heard her say anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that people like Nikki Haley will constantly bring that up to try to leverage it. And she ain't really leveraged it. Well, I can't be racist. I mean, we have a black man right in our family. See? She's literally in the party that does that all the time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a black son-in-law or a black grandson. Let me look it up to verify, to be on the just to make sure that everything is accurate. DSB, real quick, while I'm doing this, make sure y'all smash that like button. Also, make sure y'all hit that bell if y'all haven't hit that bell. Yeah, Nikki Haley, black son-in-law. Yeah. So let me see. Joshua Jackson is the black son-in-law's name. Her daughter looked just like her. Okay, so here you go right here. But it's interesting though, you know what I'm saying, because she don't never bring this up. Hold on, here we go. So here goes the tweet right here. She tweeted this once. He asked and she said yes, and just like that, we have another son. So proud and happy for both of them. My heart just skipped a beat. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Clemson love story. Clemson University, Clemson alumni. All right, so here goes the this is her daughter here, and then this is her daughter's, I guess, now husband. At the time it was fiance, right? But she don't ever bring this up though when talking about race, which is interesting because they always do. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he got tired of going over there because be some weird stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Was then. Our goal is to lift up everybody, not go and divide people on race or gender or party or anything else. We've had enough of that in America. That's why I'm so passionate about doing this. I don't want my kids growing up where they're sitting there thinking that they're disadvantaged because of a color or a gender. I want them to know that if they work hard.
His his wife's mom. This is his wife's mom. You gotta sit there and listen to your wife's mom say this stuff on national TV, bro. Oh man, that's wild, man. That is wild. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wonder how that go at the class reunion. You know what I'm saying?
They can do and be anything they want to be in America. I saw at the United Nations.
She sounds like an irritating mother-in-law too. Like she sounds irritated. Come in here and get some of this casserole. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I got some of this curry casserole. Come on in here. I made double for you, Joshua. That's racism right there. What you make that nasty ass shit make double for me for? Everybody else just get a regular portion. You gonna make me sit through and eat this nasty ass shit. Oh man, punishing people with the food.
Countries love the fact that we had freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do and be anything we wanted to be without government getting in the way. That's why I'm doing this, is because we've got too much chaos in this country and our kids don't deserve it. And I'm determined to get us back on track where everybody loves America again and everybody's invested in making her stronger.
And that governor is going to be a primary, not a caucus. It's going to be more traditional. You got 40% of New Hampshire residents who are not affiliated with the party who are going to be able to vote. It's going to be really exciting.
So now we talked about this New Hampshire situation on Magatron this morning. You know what I'm saying? And we're probably going to talk about it again. We're probably going to talk about it again, and we probably talk about it again tomorrow. But my question for you guys is, what do you all think about the New Hampshire situation. You guys think that Trump is going to win New Hampshire in the same fashion that he won in Iowa, or do you think something different going to happen? Shout out to Sunkissed. What's good with it? So USA Today back in 2021 came with a simp piece. This is a simp fact check to come and save Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley didn't whitewash her name. It's Punjabi. Oh, yeah, Nikki Haley absolutely whitewashed her everything, not just her name, but let's see what they say. The claim, Nikki Haley changed her name, which she did. The claims that the former UN ambassador Nikki Haley changed her name have resurfaced across social media after she tweeted about racial division in the United States. The Facebook post, now remember, right, this isn't recent. This is from back in May of 2021. All right, so Nikki Haley has been playing this game for a while now. You know what I'm saying? She's been playing this game for a while now. Okay. The claim is that Nikki Haley changed her name. Did Nikki Haley change her name? If she changed her name, give me a thumbs up. If she did not change her name, then give me a thumbs down. She changed her name. She got a maiden name. She goes by her middle name. She changed her name. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop. If any one of us had made these kind of changes, it'd be considered a name change. Come on. I'm saying, like, we ain't about to do that. She definitely changed her name. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 63 people watching and we got 80 likes. If everybody smashes that like button and gets us to 100, that'd be great. We only need 20 likes to get to 100 likes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that State Farm commercial? You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You all can get us there. You can do it. Claims that the former UN ambassador Nikki Haley changed her name have resurfaced across social media after she tweeted about racial division in the United States. I wonder what she tweeted about it. There's no such thing as racial division in the great United States of America. There's no such thing. The Facebook post shared on May 2nd is an image of a controversial tweet by Haley where she voiced her objection to the New York Times 1619 Project and wokeism. Now, if that don't tell you what type of time that Nikki Haley is on, then I don't know what does. Yeah, there you go, Honda 666. You can do it with the fish. Wokeism refers to being well-informed or alert to racial or social discrimination and injustice, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, which added woke in 2017. So now Nikki Haley is dealing with some woke baggage. She's dealing with a woke conspiracy. Now, I just don't think that all this wokeism is right for the country. Sounded like Blanche on the Golden Girls. Sounded like Blanche. You know what I'm saying? You thought Nikki would give you a better chance than the name Nimrata Randhawa, the reply says, which is facts. Haley, the daughter of Indian immigrants, which again, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, should tell you the dangers of Asian immigrants and their genocidal agenda against Black history. How many Asian immigrants who have come to the United States have made an attempt to not be harmful to Black people? anything that they think is associated with or positive to black people, they either attempt to steal it or they attempt to destroy it. They attempted to destroy affirmative action and it blew up in their face. All the data was out that affirmative action doesn't really benefit black people, doesn't really help black people at all. So if you destroy affirmative action, you know what I'm saying? Who do you think that it's gonna harm? You know what I'm saying? It's not really, if it's not helping us, do you think that taking it away is gonna harm us, you dummies? You high IQ dummies? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be so damn high IQ. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. Haley, the daughter of Indian immigrants. So now let me ask you guys this. How do people feel about, you know, Asian people and their genocidal agenda against black history? That's something that really needs to be talked about, if you ask me. Shout out to Neil. Shout out to Robin and Battle. What's good with it? High IQ dummies. Yeah, you big dummy. You big dummy. Somebody make it make sense.
What kind of shit is that?
Now, she was born Nimrata Nikki Randhawa. All right. So now what they're saying is that she uses her middle name, right? Now, let me ask you guys this question. She had a wild middle name like Shiva or something like that. Let's say her middle name was Ramaswamy. Do you think that she would be going around calling herself Ramaswamy Haley? I go by Ramaswamy because I like my middle names and it makes me feel more like a woman's. You think so? I don't think so. Nikki, well, despite the fact that it may actually be Punjabi, like they say that it is, it's one of those names that it's maybe Punjabi, but it also sounds very American. If she had one of those really ethnic Asian Indian middle names, I highly doubt that she'd be going around calling herself that. But Nikki works. You know what I'm saying? She's received criticism about not using her first name since as early as 2016, with people claiming that she changed her name to quote unquote get ahead in politics. She did. Not only did she change her name to get ahead in politics, she changed her name to get ahead in life. Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to other people that came to the United States, can you guys name other groups of people that have altered their names to quote unquote blend in the United States? A lot of people with last names. They truncated certain parts of their last names. Eastern European people. Italians. So now if this wasn't a practice, right? If it wasn't a practice that was actually going on, then maybe we could say, oh yeah, this is an isolated case. But this is something that's common with many immigrants. It's almost synonymous with immigrant culture to alter their name, to alter their identity, to do what they think is going to be a easier assimilation. Let me just alter this a little bit. I'm gonna just change this to Smith real quick. We're gonna do the Smith hustle. I'm gonna just change this to Smith real quick. I'm saying that'll last me about 10 years. I'll be able to do what I need to do. Won't nobody mess with me. I'm change this to Smith real quick. I'm gonna change. You know, my name is Mikalatita Mamunos. I'm gonna just change my name to Mike. Make it like that. Yeah, we just put Mike on there. There you go. Now I ain't got to deal with all this other stuff. People asking me all these questions. By May 5th, the post by Occupy Democrats, an advocacy group created to provide an online counterbalance to the Republican Tea Party, had been shared 8,400 times. But Haley hasn't legally changed her name. She goes by her middle name, Nikki, and she has legally changed her name. She got married and she has a maiden name. And she didn't get married to somebody that's in her culture to have a crazy long name. And in addition, right, she changed her religion as well. So, you know, maybe, right, maybe we could be like, nah, she didn't change her name or do none of that stuff. But she changed everything. She didn't have to change her religion. But she changed her religion too. So USA Today has created a simp piece to take up for Nikki Haley. They put the cape on for Nikki Haley. And we're going to call this a fact check and use a bunch of tweets as our substantiating information. We're not going to compare this to the trend of what other immigrants do. And shout out to DSB. Make sure you guys show DSB some love. DSB tried to super chat and they was acting like they was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take a moment, smash that like button wherever you watching from. If you haven't shared the stream, make sure y'all share the stream wherever you watching from on YouTube. We need 15 likes to hit that 100. Do we got 15 people that's willing to hit that like button? The post claims that Haley whitewashed her name, going from Nimrata to Nikki to boost her political career. Now, do you all believe this to be fact? If you believe this statement right here to be a fact, give me a thumbs up. If you guys do not believe this statement to be a fact, then give me a thumbs down. But Nikki is Haley's legal middle name as it appears on her birth certificate, according to her 2018 tweet. Some users replied to Haley's controversial tweet saying that her using her real name would end her political career and that Nikki is more widely accepted than Nimrata because it doesn't sound foreign. So is USA Today trying to say that this isn't true? Are we sitting here saying that that's not true? Is that what we're doing? Shout out to Katsy. Katsy said, I can hit the like button 15 times, but I don't think that it will have the desired result. Now, to all the people who have hit the like button, if you can't hit the like button anymore, there are hearts or whatever emoji that are at the bottom right hand of the screen that you all can hit. And the more you all hit those, it's the same as hitting the like button multiple times. So if you've already hit the like button, please continue to help with the engagement by hitting those emoji in the bottom right hand of the chat by where it says send. If you have yet to hit the like button, y'all already know what I'm about to ask. Hit that like button. But Haley's use of her middle name as a first name predates her political career. So now they're not going into why she did this. It doesn't matter about her political career, right? Because she's always been an immigrant. And the point of what they're saying is that she changed her name or goes by her name of Nikki to blend into society. So it doesn't matter if she was doing this for political reasons or not. She's still doing it for blending in reasons, which is the entire point. Oh, You can change it, Chris. Yeah, that's true. You could change that to 100 or whatever emoji that you want to. All you got to do is when you hit it, there should be like a down arrow, and then when you hit the down arrow, it'll expand out, and then you can find the emoji that you want to hit, and then just you can hit it. Okay. So now here it says Haley has gone by Nikki ever since she was born. Haley spokesperson Cheney Denton told USA Today, and probably because her parents encouraged her to go by Nikki. Nikki, keep your head down, try to blend in. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky. You're not as dark as us. You know what I'm saying? You kind of look like you could blend in if you don't say too much. Lose the accent. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be fine. You'll be able to live the American dream. A lot of the immigrant people's parents tell that to their kids. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard this from people who are immigrants that I'm friends with. You know what I'm saying? This is firsthand testimony. Now I'm sure they probably wouldn't appreciate me being like, yeah, their parents told them this, but like that, I mean, this is real. This is what they said. They've told me this. You know what I'm saying? Especially a lot of Asian people. You know what I'm saying? Some of my Asian friends, you know what I'm saying, who are like first and second generation, they've told me that this is what their parents have told them. They also said, you know what I'm saying, like their parents tell them to stay away from black people. You know what I'm saying? Which is it's wild, right? Because you're coming from countries that don't have black people. So what is your experience of why you would tell somebody to stay away from black people? You know what I'm saying? But this is what they say. And they do say this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is firsthand testimony from people who are my friends who have said this to me. Because if you have a real actual person that is your friend, they're not gonna lie to you about these kind of conversations when you have them. That's how you know if somebody is truly your friend or not. You know what I'm saying? If your friend, if somebody else, if somebody tries to front like they're your friend and they're trying to gaslight you about stuff like this, that's not really a friend. But somebody that's actually a friend, somebody that's actually cool, somebody that really, really fucking with you, they're not gonna lie. Now, they might not jump out the window and save you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If something go down or something like that, but they're not gonna lie to you on a personal level conversation. They're gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says a 2010 roll call article echoed this, noting that she was known as Nikki throughout high school, even though her yearbook photo listed her full name, Nimrata Nikki Randhawa. Okay. While it's commonplace for women named Nicole in the United States, Nikki is also a common Punjabi name in their region in India her parents migrated from. Now, what I think is interesting, right, is that this written down here, we expect to say this as Nikki. However, I just got this weird feeling that if we go to this region where her parents migrated and write this name down on a piece of paper, they might say it like Nikki. I don't think that they pronounce this Nikki. I think that they might pronounce it Nikki or something like that. However, you can write it down. You know what I'm saying? And as Americans who speak English as our first language, we're going to look at it and say it with the phononyms that we know it as and pronounce it with the syllable breakdown how we would pronounce it. Now, if you write this down and you give it to a person from her region, I just got this feeling that it's not going to come out sounding like Nikki the way we say Nikki. Now, if she truly doesn't want to change her name and all of us Americans are mispronouncing her name, she should correct us on the pronunciation. I've heard a lot of people from Southeast Asia talk, I've heard a lot of Indians from Southeast Asia talk, I don't believe that the phononyms would translate the same. See, the phononyms, you can tell if the phononyms are different because of how thick people's accents are. You know what I'm saying? People that got less thick accents have more similar phononyms. It's the phononyms that make it sound like you got an accent. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can have a New York accent or a Southern accent and still pronounce words the same. Now, when you get into, like, say, for instance, you might be Russian, or say, for instance, you might be Arabic, or say, for instance, you might be Chinese, and you speak a completely different language with a completely different writing system, some of the sound combinations that we have don't even exist in some of those cultures. So they won't even know where to start with pronouncing certain stuff. And as thick as Southeast Asian accents come across, I just got this feeling that the phononyms are different. And if you write this down, somebody from Southeast Asia, it's not going to sound like, quote unquote, Nikki, like how we say it. Just got that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, in a tweet responding to implications she whitewashed her name from activist Bree Newsom, Haley said Nikki means little one in Punjabi. Again, notice how they're not addressing the pronunciation. Nikki is often used as a term of endearment for the youngest girl in a ski family, according to British Indian writer Tunku Veradarajan, who wrote an opinion piece for the Wall Street Journal in 2020 about Haley's name controversy. Haley is the youngest girl in her family. As her name hasn't been altered, Haley didn't whitewash or change her name. She simply goes by her middle name. Now, that's interesting. Because you're not named your middle name for people to address you as your middle name. You're named your first name for people to address you as. You know what I'm saying? Haley adopted husband's last name. So, I mean, you didn't really adopt it. And the tradition here in America, when you get married, is that you take the husband's last name. Of course, you know, now that's sexist and misogynist and oppressive and, you know what I'm saying, all that shit. But that's what the tradition has been. You know what I'm saying? Haley's last name has also been controversial. Now, again, what else they're leaving out is the fact that she chose to change her religion, because that's a key part. Because now what that shows is a pattern of making cultural changes to adjust. So the fact check that's supposed to be establishing fact left that out. Haley's last name has also been controversial, but the explanation for the change is far from unusual. She got married. Haley adopted her husband's last name, Michael Haley, when they wed in 1996, becoming Nikki Haley at age 26, years before she entered the political arena. While more women have chosen to keep their maiden names once they marry, around 70% of women choose to adopt their husband's name. A study by the New York Times found in 2015. Our ratings false. So I want you guys to pay very close attention. And this is what I was talking about both the left-wing media and the right-wing media will protect neocons. So you got USA Today, which is liberal media, jumping out the window and simping for Nikki Haley. You know what I'm saying? They sitting up there jumping out the window and simping for Nikki Haley. Did y'all just hear that crash? Remember, broken glass everywhere. USA Today just jumped out the window for Nikki Haley, and we don't care. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how you keep from going under. Why they want to take me under. You know what I'm saying? Why they want to take me under? Oh, man. So they rate this false. We rate claims that Nikki whitewashed her name as false based on our research. Haley has gone by Nikki, her legal middle name, since birth, which means that she started using it. Before she started her political career at 32. But again, like I said, if she was using it during her youth, or if she was using it growing up to blend into society, to me, that's the same thing. Yeah, and I gotta agree with JW. If you guys agree with JW, give me a thumbs up. JW says, overall, the woman is a fraud. She can't be true to her identity. Yeah, that's facts. That's big facts. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all. If you guys haven't hit that like button, we got 90 likes. Smash that like button. We need 10 people to smash that like button. If you guys haven't shared the stream from wherever you watch it from, please make sure you guys take a moment and share the stream, and also make sure that you guys join that Discord. Since it's her also a common Indian name, claims that she anglicized or whitewashed her name are inaccurate. Now, here's the sources that they used right here. Very tweet heavy. Tweet. They got one right here, the Wall Street Journal, The Smearing of Nikki Haley, which was written by this Indian man that also jumped out the window to simp for Nikki Haley. Some people like them big hands. Some people like big hands. You know what I'm saying? Some people like big hands. Now, here goes some January 6th action. Let's take a look at this because this look wild, and then we get up out of here. See, you let this stuff play, something interesting will come up. Hold on real quick. Let's look at some January 6th action. We should look at this on Magatron. Y'all know I like to be organized, but that's okay.
Two siblings charged for their role in the violent riot at the Capitol January 6th faced a federal judge today.
Give us our country back. That's what's about to happen. That's what Trump said. He promised that he's going to take the country back. And then when these people start acting like this, they're going to say he incited another riot by saying we're going to take our country back. Watch. But they sit up there acting like they at the adult romper room. They didn't use any kind of force on these people, man. Police officers were getting their asses beat by the Elmer Fudds and the Yosemite Sams of society, just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? What's even more interesting about this is that no other country in the world drew the comparison that very few of these violent rioters got harmed. It's wild. What was these people doing? What's going on here? Like this part right here. Like what's up with this right here?
For their role in the violent riot at the Capitol January 6th faced a federal judge today. Jonathan Pollock, he's been a fugitive for nearly 3 years, and his sister, Olivia Pollock.
Hey, look at that. See, they got the uniform on. His sister, Olivia Pollock, got the uniform on. I bet you both of them is like EMTs or they work for the city or something like that. Homeboy right here looks crazy. Crazy as hell. They did this brother and sister. This is what we're going to do today. Let's go down here. Put on this bulletproof vest. We're going to act like we on The Walking Dead. Y'all crazy, man. How many of y'all would do this? If y'all would do this, give me a thumbs up. If y'all wouldn't do this, give me a thumbs down. They thought they was on for real life Call of Duty. They was on Hall of Duty. They was on They was on Hall of Duty, January 6th edition. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, look, they go to Perfect Griff, man. Where my computer programmers at? Where my tech people at in the building? Let's make a Call of Duty MAGA edition. You know what I'm saying? And it's Call of Duty, but you going through the Capitol building. sliding down the staircase and shit. How many people y'all think would buy that? I think a whole bunch of people will buy that. I'm trying to get them ducats. You know what I'm saying? If y'all think people will buy that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, give me a thumbs down. I'll be like Twisted. Would you tell me, would you buy that? Oh man, we're gonna ask him like Twisted. Would you tell me, would you buy that?
Who, remember, if you've been watching us, she skipped her trial last spring and went on the run. They were just arrested Saturday, along with their co-defendant, Joseph Hutchinson. All three now face several charges, including assaulting, resisting,
oh
and
man, what's up with the big boy
police.
crying right there?
Boxer Teen's Glory.
Hold on. What's up with Chunk over there crying? Man, that's a crazy picture, man. This looked like some wrong turn shit. Oh man. Ooh-wee.
Gomez joins us now live from our newsroom. So, Gloria, back to court. They appeared in court today. What happened?
Yeah, it was a standard arraignment. I can tell you the judge actually discussing bond issues with all three defendants, but keep in mind they're fugitives, so they're not going anywhere. Prosecutors say this is
Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this.
During the Capitol riot on
Look at this. Look at this. Hey, look at the police. They fell down like a stack of dominoes. Look at them. What this person on the floor for? Hey, yo, check this out. They doing the same thing to the Capitol building that's getting done to the southern border. That's crazy. That fence ain't holding them people, just like that fence ain't holding them people down there in Texas.
not going anywhere. Prosecutors say this is Jonathan Pollock during the Capitol riot on.
Hey, you see how they slid down the stairs? Look at that pile of police. Oh, they got all these motherfuckers laying down on the job. Homeboy took a nap. This one in the air right here. He's suspended in midair. What was he jumping over? Like an action figure. He thought he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hasta la vista, Biden. He was saying it sounded like a mix of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Chunk on the Goonies. Hasta la vista, Biden.
During the Capitol riot on January 6th, lunging and attacking Capitol Police.
Oh man, he went over there and gave the police officer a wet hug to the midsection. That's crazy. Look at that. Who gives wet hugs to the midsection? Homeboy over there still trying to crawl around on the ground. Man, it's crazy. There's so many viral clips from this. So this is the same dude that jumped through the air. See, watch, he gonna jump through the air like he jumping from a damn explosion or something. And then he jumped over this dude that's on the floor to land a wet hug onto the police officer's midsection. Like, man, that's crazy. Yeah, you did all that. Yeah, you did all that for that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is the hurdle jumping of the Special Olympics for real, for real.
Prosecutors say this is Jonathan Pollock during the Capitol riot on January 6th.
Give me a hug.
Attacking Capitol Police. The Polk County resident has been on the run for 3 years, but on the anniversary of the violent.
He wasn't on no damn run for 3 years. They was letting him sit there. They wasn't trying to catch him. He ain't even got no mask on. You mean to tell me they couldn't find him? Come on, man. Man, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to stop it.
An attack, his luck ran out. He was busted in Groveland, Florida. The FBI had a $30,000 reward for his capture.
Damn.
But he wasn't the only catch. Jonathan's sister, Olivia Pollock, was caught too. She had been set for trial last spring, but took off her ankle monitor and skipped town while out on bond. And her co-conspirator, Joseph Hutchinson, was arrested as well. He also went on the lam just before his trial. Now all three face a federal judge. Two other co-defendants.
Now, let me ask y'all this. What y'all think about to happen to them? Ain't nothing about to happen to them. They're going to get slaps on the wrist. Yeah, you see that? Patrick Taylor, not one officer opened fire. If none of these people had guns and were running the opposite direction, they'd all got sprayed up. They'd have got shot up like Chopper City, which is one of the reasons why people need to rethink their approaches. You know what I'm saying? When you got people that's looking to hunt you down and delete you like that, you can't really be playing no games as far as like some type of, oh, we gonna do this peaceful protest. Nah, like you can't do that.
Are already serving time in prison. Joshua Doolin was convicted and sentenced to over a year, while Michael Perkins is serving a 4-year sentence.
All 5 of them were alleged to be involved.
Now, one thing that a lot of these candidates that are going against Trump, a lot of them are attempting to lead with the talking point that they will pardon all of these people if elected. Have y'all seen a lot of the candidates saying that? If you guys have seen a lot of the candidates saying that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all haven't seen the candidates saying that, then give me a thumbs down. That's what they've been saying. They're gonna pardon a lot of these people, which, I mean, I guess if that's a selling point, if that works, if that gets you votes, you know what I'm saying? But again, to me, them using that talking point of we'll pardon these people, that goes back to that we're going to try to be more Trump than Trump. Like none of the Republican candidates have anything to sell themselves on that differentiates them and overshadows Trump being Trump. So ultimately, they're all going to lose. They're all going to suffer the same fate as what we see in Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Because with this particular voting base, with this particular group, Trump is the hot thing. And like I said, why would you not get why would you buy the generic over the authentic? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
In a violent assault on Capitol officers.
Prosecutors say on January 6, Jonathan Pollock, Hutchinson, and Doolin charged the fence at the Capitol and began attacking Capitol Police. Federal agents say Michael Perkins attacked a police officer with a flagpole.
Hey, did you see that he had his hands around that police officer's neck? He finna choke slam him. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Did y'all see that choke slam that was about to happen? If y'all saw that choke slam that was about to happen, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't, give me a thumbs down. There was a choke slam that was just about to happen. Watch this.
Police. Federal agents say Michael Perkins attacked a police officer with a flagpole, hitting the officer in the chest and over the head. They say Olivia Pollock also attacked police and hit an officer in the chest with her elbow. She also tried to breach the police line. Documents show Jonathan Pollock is heard yelling, "Let's go," as he attacks police, pulling and dragging one officer down the Capitol steps. Now
So they pulled this officer and dragged this officer down the steps and nobody ended up dead. Out here. You know what I'm saying, at least. So, yo, real quick, there goes the link for BLR C19 report. If you're not subscribed to that channel, make sure you take a moment and subscribe to that channel so that you can see the content that we do tomorrow. So you guys see it? If you're not subscribed to BLR C19 report, take a moment and hit that link that the Streamelements bot just put in the chat and go subscribe to that channel and come back.
The long legal road begins for Pollock and the two others. And Mark, all three will be transferred to Washington, D.C. for trial. The other two defendants, Joshua Doolin and Michael Perkins, were convicted last year and are serving prison sentences right now. Back to you.
All right, Gloria Gomez.
So, again, notice how they didn't say how long the prison sentences are that they're serving. And the reason why they didn't say how long the prison sentences are that they're serving is probably because it ain't that damn long. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody who contributed to the stream. Please make sure that y'all show them mad love, throw some flames, radiation emoji, membership emoji in the chat. And shout out to everybody that's watching. We only need, if I'm not mistaken, let me see, I think 4 more members to be at 100. I know we can do it. Let me see. Hold on real quick. No, we need 7. We need 7 members to get to 100. I know we can do it. It's only a ducat, you know what I'm saying? So anybody that watches on the replay gang, make sure y'all hashtag replay gang in the comment section. Become a member. It's only 1 ducat. We need 7, and we'll be at 100, which will be an amazing milestone to be at. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all for that. Shout out to my man AB Promotions with the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to my man DSB with the $1.99 super chat. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen with the $10 super chat. And make sure y'all double up that love for DSB because he doubled up on the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure, again, that you have smashed that like button. Make sure you guys leave lots of comments after the stream. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up, look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour. Got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on my knee. That's on TV. That's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me. Come and see me. I been dodging all that face. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature? That's like every other week. Talk behind my back. I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like